Hello, hello, lovely people. Hope you're well and welcome back to the Sanderson Show. Delighted to be joined, as always, by the two generals, the legends themselves, Luke, Tanner, and Jamie. So before you even smash the like button, guys, the title of this video has a link to both their channels. So you know what to do. You click on the links and you hit subscribe, and then you go support their channels. So, boys, first and foremost, how are you guys doing after an eventful UFC 295?
Oh, I'm doing good, man.
Feeling great.
Doing good.
Feeling great.
You're watching the replay. Even better.
Yeah. So a very fun event, and not often do we start a stream. Well, I say start 3. We didn't start 3 because I just overslept, as I do, and Luke saves the show. We started maybe about 10 past, and then we were finished by like what 5:45. That doesn't usually happen. Which UFC, if you're watching the fighters, if we can make that a regular, please do.
Great.
We have a new interim champion at heavyweight, and we have a new champion at light heavyweight. Alex Pereira becomes the first man in UFC history to be a 2-weight Glory kickboxing champion and a 2-weight UFC champion as well. We're going to be speaking about him. But seeing as though we do support British fighters quite heavily based on where we are in the world, I've got to start with the man of the hour, Mr. Tom Aspinall. So I'm going to paint a picture, guys. You've got to fight the hardest hitter and the most dangerous person who's ranked #1 in your division. Oh, by the way, you get the call 2 weeks out. Oh, by the way, you pull a muscle in your back, so you can't train. You come in heavier than you've come in for a fight in your whole career. You've had to fly from the UK over to New York, change time zones, no training whatsoever for this, and you've got to go and fight a 5-round fight that most people don't have your favorite for. You get rocked in the first round by said hardest hitter in the UFC currently, and then a few seconds later you put him to sleep with a 4-punch combo. Is this story of Aspinall one of the best stories we've seen from a UK fighter since the UFC started? I know we've had a great story of Michael, a great story of Leon. Luke, I've got to come to you first, bro. Is this the best one of the 3?
No, because I think it's never better than the first, and the first is always Bisping.
Debatable, depending on what subject
on
you're
a
talking
movie
about.
set. It's like, hey, Bisping, fancy taking the call? Fancy taking the fight with Rockball, who's previously knocked you out? I know that you're on a movie set still, but you've got 17 days, and Bisping's gone. Yeah, why not? And Bisping with one eye as well. So no, but it's up there though.
Fair enough. Jay, I'm going to come to you in a sec. I want to give a shout out to a few people in the comments though. Shout out to Josh Gavin, who just come over from Jay's channel. Ensman, Boo Ryder, Imran, always bigging up Misha Tate, big up yourself, and the one and only Chris Brack as well. Never minces his words about me and Luke, but big up yourself, guys. Please do smash that like button. Jay, Tommy Aspinall's just become the interim champion. However, when you're the interim champion, your next shot is usually at the undisputed champion. However, Dana's come out and said that's not going to be his next shot. Do you think Aspinall should wait for Jones to come back, then fight Stipe, or do you think he should take another fight or 2 in that period?
Well, Aspinall said himself after the fight, and I think he said it on Ariel Wani's show the other day as well, that John Jones is the fight he wants. That's the fight he wants. So, and the way Dana's talking, it's like John Jones will be back quicker than we thought. So maybe John Jones will be back like mid 2024. So maybe the summer of 2024. But that's quite a wait for Aspinall. But then he's banged up a little bit himself, so he can rest up, get into shape. Because he said he came in overweight. I mean, if that's overweight, then we're all dead, ain't we? Yeah, he said he came in overweight and his back's hurting him and he's got some niggles and all that. So, and he's got that, take that money, spend it wise, enjoy it. I'd wait for John Jones personally. If we can get John Jones in midsummer, by the way, Dana's talking right now, I'd wait for that fight. Nothing else makes sense. You know, you could take a fight. I mean, Cyril Gane. What's Cyril Gane going to do in pay-per-view buys and pay-per-view points and money for Aspinall? Nothing. He can beat Cyril Gane with one eye closed. It doesn't. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything. So, Curtis Blades, no point. You know, I think waits for John Jones fight. And the problem here is then what do you do with Stipe? This is it.
Well, Dana's already said that it's going to be Stipe next for John Jones. So that means he's not necessarily waiting.
Because in my opinion, Tom Aspinall's the heavyweight champion of the world. He looks like the heavyweight champion of the world. For me, he's the best heavyweight in the division. No one moves like him. You know, he's got power that he proved the other night. He's got a great chin. And he also is the quickest heavyweight by a complete mile in that division. I just don't know. I don't think John Jones beats him. I don't know if anyone beats him when he's look what he did to a scary guy that he was actually scared of.
Yeah.
You know, he was on holiday. His back's killing him. Said he comes in overweight and puts that performance on. So imagine that guy with a 12-week camp rested up.
And plus, it was nearly a year since he blew his knee out, and there was even doubt that he might even come back against Blades. So
and that's not underestimate his power either. He's a powerful man.
Yeah,
he's a powerful man. I'd wait for John Jones. It makes all the sense for him, financially, business-wise, and for fighting his idol. So it makes perfect sense. I don't know what Dana's going to do because what is Stipe and John Jones fighting over? Because for me, then John Jones ain't the heavyweight champion.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Since you've mentioned it, Jay, I'll stick with you for now. Should Jones actually be stripped of the title and you can still do the Jones-Stipe fight, even if he hasn't got the title? I don't think Dana will strip Jones, but do you think he should be stripped?
I said it. I think I said it last week, didn't I? That John Jones should have been stripped of his title if he's going to be out for more than a year. I think if you're injured for more than a 12-month basis,
you're holding up the division.
You're holding up the division because you can fight twice in that 12-month period and defending your title. So for me, you should be stripped of your title. But then you get the title match on your first match back. You know, you don't go to the back of the line or anything. You get
just like Jamal Hill.
You get the first title match.
And Yuri as well.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. So for me, that's what should be happening. Aspinall's the heavyweight champion of the world. John Jones comes back and he fights Aspinall for the title. That's what should happen. I don't understand why you're putting Steve. It don't make no sense to me. I don't know if John Jones wants Aspinall.
Mate, John Jones is done after Stipe.
John Jones is a clever man.
John Jones is
he's very intelligent.
He's a very clever man. He turns fights down. People don't think he does turn fights down.
He turned down Chael Sonnen on a day's notice.
Yeah, and he'd beat him like with one arm and one leg. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Luke, I'm going to come to you now. Now, John Jones hasn't been stripped. And now, if you think I'm being crazy, if this is conspiracy cow talking, let me know. I have a few theories, though. I think one of two things. I think Dana doesn't want to strip Jones because if he strips Jones, then Francis Ngannou is seen as the best heavyweight in the world, even though Tom Aspinall's just done something special. But Francis's catalogue and what he's just done in boxing would stipulate he's the best in the world. I think by having Jones as champion, you can always say, well, Jones is the GOAT and he'd have beaten Francis. And a lot of people would believe that.
Plus, he dismantled someone that Francis struggled with as well.
Yes, that as well. Secondly, I think it keeps the door open that if Jones were to beat Stipe and then want to defend again, it means he would have one defense and he'd have two more defenses to make before he's equaled what Stipe's done, which then gives him even more GOAT status. I also think Dana knows that him fighting Stipe is a very winnable fight for John Jones as well, as opposed to fighting Aspinall or someone else potentially. I don't see them stripping John Jones, and I think it's wrong because you're holding up the division because you're giving someone who, in my opinion, in fact, I'll ask you the question: should Stipe be in the title picture?
No. Like considering like his last fight was him getting knocked out by Stipe in 2021.
Francis.
Stipe's last fight was a knockout loss to Francis Ngannou. And we all saw him when he walked in the arena. That guy was limping.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's in no fit state to fight, like whatsoever. He's getting that fight because he's probably had a word with Dana. Like, I have this fight and I'm done. Because he looks done. He looks finished. He looks like that he's just continue being a firefighter. For me. So he shouldn't, but you know, he is well, in some people's eyes, he is the heavyweight GOAT. In some people's eyes, that's why he's probably got the title shot, but he probably got it, and he's probably been told you're done after this. And Steve has probably gone, yeah, all right, I'll sit around and wait. Like, how long is he going to willing to wait? Is like when you said, Jamie, he's going to be back quicker than expected. When's he going to be back? UFC 300? We could try and make him get back before then. Is it going to be in July? Like, when Jones coming back?
I think they're looking at a summer because
so basically, are you looking at International Fight Week where you're going to have Jones potentially fighting, and plus Aspinall says he wants to be an active, like he wants to fight at UFC 300. You're going to have an interim heavyweight title headline UFC 300? No.
This is where nothing makes sense, because John Jones didn't beat the heavyweight champion and become heavyweight champion.
No, and plus, I think I saw some people say, "Oh, Tom Aspinall should fight Stipe." Like, Stipe's not fighting anyone
Stipe should be number one contender. Look, as I keep saying, John Jones didn't beat the heavyweight champion to become heavyweight champion.
You know, Francis was asking for that John Jones fight for 2 years. For 2 years,
you can't be interim champion and not number one contender.
Yeah,
it makes no sense. How can you have on a card? You're going to have the heavyweight championship, John Jones versus Stipe, and then on the other match on that card, you're going to have the interim heavyweight champion against a nobody.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Not just that.
I don't know why Stipe's getting this. Look, have you guys seen A Weekend at Bernie's? Right?
No.
Did you see Stipe in that paper on that main event?
Yeah.
I don't know if he was alive. Did anyone check his pulse? The man was moving. The man was not moving. I don't know if he's alive. I don't know if this is all a ruse. That Dana just brings him out for special occasions. But he died 2 years ago.
Just wheels him out.
But again, it also shows the inconsistencies of the UFC in their decision making sometimes, because we all sat here as a trio and fully agreed that Adesanya, when he lost to Pereira, deserved an immediate rematch because of the work he had done. But when he lost to Strickland, none of us sat here and said he should get an immediate rematch because he had only just won the belt. This was his first defense and he lost in dominating fashion. Stipe lost the belt to Daniel Cormier, fought him twice, so he won it back, then defended it once, and then lost to Francis in devastating fashion. And then 3 years later, he's going to get a title shot after having not fought anyone either. That's crazy to me.
And like the easy stuff's different because Tom's
been active
champion. You can't have an interim champion and a heavyweight champion and they not fight each other. Has it ever been done? When an interim champion and the champion don't fight each other?
No, not that I can think of. Unless there's been injuries, but not when they've both been fit.
I'm trying to think. Maybe was it GSP Robert Whittaker? You know, when GSP won the belt,
retired.
That was probably the only time that you could probably say the interim and the champion didn't fight was off the back of that.
Khabib and Ferguson as well.
Khabib and Ferguson, but that was different.
There was an injury there.
That's what I'm saying. They're both active. They're both active and they're both fighting. They have to fight each other, surely. It don't make. Dana's got an issue because he's obviously promised something to Stipe, and he's trying to keep that promise. And
he's promised it to Jones and Stipe, and probably like, do not be surprised if when we see them fight, it's a double retirement because. Hey, Jones's comments, like, he does not want to stick around for these young heavyweights. No, he probably knows that if he sticks around long enough, he is going to get beat.
Well, he's going to. What happened to him is what he did to all those light heavyweights who were starting to get towards the end of their career. He ran through them.
Aspinall reminds me of John Jones a little bit like that.
Yeah,
the height, the length, the quickness, the speed. Yeah.
Do you think if Jones and Stipe were to fight it would lose prestige if the title's not on the line.
I wouldn't be interested in it.
Even with the title on the line, Joe?
No, because if it is a double retirement, what's the point of the title? What's the point of John Jones being heavyweight champion? Because it automatically makes Aspinall heavyweight champion. It makes no sense.
Yeah, for me,
it makes zero sense.
I feel like that's going to happen. Like, I think Steve is going to retire anyway. Like, the guy can't walk pretty much. Like, it was quite sad to see that he can barely walk and you're going to give him a title shot. And John Jones's quotes about, like, he doesn't really want to stick around and fight the young guns. Like, I know after Aspinall won, like, John Jones was very complimentary towards Tom Aspinall, and he said some nice things about him on the podcast. But Jones is calculated. He knows if he steps in the octagon with him, I know the betting odds showed that John Jones was a slight favourite on the base of what? I don't get it. What for the work he did at heavyweight, he beat a striker with literally zero grappling.
Yeah.
It's Francis Ngannou with no knees out grappled Cyril Gane. So, like, yeah, doesn't make sense. Yeah, but it will make the belt look cheap if it is a double retirement, because I cannot see Jones sticking around after Stipe. He's going to beat Stipe. Go, I beat the GOAT, guys.
Yeah.
I'm out. See you later.
But if they do that, right, if this is still Dana's plan, and what he's thinking is, I'm going to do late summer, maybe September, I'm going to do Stipe Jones. They go both retire after the fight. And then after that, I just make Aspinall heavyweight champion. But then Aspinall will be like, so why didn't I get a chance to fight John Jones when I'm interim champion?
Yeah, or fight in between and make some money.
It makes no sense at all. It has to be Aspinall. It has to be Aspinall. It has to be Aspinall John Jones at Wembley Stadium.
Defend his interim belt. I do think
he will as well.
He will defend it because he says he wants to be active. You're looking at the heavyweight division at the moment. I know Cyril Gane called out Tom Aspinall, which was a bit like, come on, Cyril. Like, Aspinall went to France, called you out.
He's hypocritical.
Like, Aspinall went to France, called you out. You went no. Aspinall said that he should fight Almeida, which I'd like to see that because he'll get tapped out within a couple of rounds. You probably make Blades versus Aspinall too.
It's gotta be Aspinall. It's gotta be Aspinall Gane. I think that's the fight that's going to happen. But for me, you do late September. If John Jones is available to fight, you do John Jones and Aspinall at Wembley Stadium, and you put Edwards in the second main event under that card, and you have a massive Wembley Stadium event in September.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Just on Stipe quickly before we move off the heavyweights. If you were to, let's say Stipe turned around and says, look, I'm not going to get the next shot because Dana's seen sense and said I'm going to do Jones and Aspinall. Who realistically would you like to see Stipe fight?
No one.
No one.
I don't want to see him fighting. I don't want to see Stipe fighting again.
He should just retire.
I saw him in that main event. The man weren't alive. I don't care what people. There was something. He don't look well. He looked really unwell. Everyone kept telling me he looks in superb shape right now, and all this, like what everyone's saying about him. He didn't look well. He didn't look well, and I'm worried about his long-term after fighting. You know, we got to think of that. And Dana don't give a shit, but I think our fans should be like, no, we love this guy. He's one of the greatest heavyweights ever. I want him to have longevity after his career's finished. You know. He doesn't need to fight.
Like, the guy is already slurring his speech, and that's a concern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me,
I hear it.
Hang up the gloves, mate.
I hear it. Guys, if you haven't already, please do smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to Luke's channel. Also, make sure you subscribe to Jamie's channel. Before we go on to the next topic, guys, there is also another video out today. So make sure you check it out. Here's a little teaser.
Called that. Who's that right hand first round?
Oh, damn. That was the real deal.
I called that first.
The real deal.
That was good. Let's go,
dude.
Let's go. That was sick.
He's good. That was good, dude. Collected.
He knocked John Jones out.
He stayed collected.
Yeah, Tom can't take that, man. Tom's
Tom's
already wobbled
him. Oh.
Yeah, Tom's stumped.
Mate, Just because
I
you
can see
sparred
it
with
here.
Tyson does not mean that you can rope a dope.
Tom, you can't.
He's the man!
Get up, you beautiful bastard!
Beast! He's a beast! I didn't doubt him for 1 second. I told you. I didn't doubt
I
him.
told you.
There you have it, people. Some reactions from UFC 295 of that brilliant Aspinall knockout. Watching it back, I can't lie. We just lose ourselves in the moment. Innit?
My voice is cringe. I hate hearing my own voice back.
I think
Oh no, I do as well. I'm just
I
used
sound
to
like
it.
my you know what's not dropped.
I think I said you
Hear
beautiful
myself
bastard. That's it.
Yeah, you did. Do you know what's weird? I never hear what you guys say at the time because obviously I'm screaming my head off. But when I watch it back, I literally just sit there and I'm just in stitches laughing. Yeah, so guys, check that video out after this one finishes. Onto the main event. We start with the co-main event. Onto the main event. We had we actually had 2 very different stare downs or interactions before the fight started in the co and the main. In the co, we saw the first time that I can ever remember 2 fights putting their hands on each other's shoulders, as if to say, like, I don't really want to hurt you, but I gotta hurt you. But we're still cool after, right? And then in the main event, we've seen Usman Edwards 3. That stare down was epic. If you're gonna go back to Pride, you've got Vanderlei Silva and Crocop. But this one here, I mean, I gotta ask, boys, is this the best stare down we've seen?
Yeah, man.
Well, in the octagon, yes, like in octagon stare down, yeah.
That was, for me, that alone was just a moment. Like, neither man just broke at all. Like, they both just stood there and they were like, we're not giving an inch, whether it means in the stare down, in the fight. And I think, or I'm hoping, should I say, we're starting to get to a place in UFC where you're still going to have trash talking, you're still going to have beef between fighters, but we're now starting to see fights being sold off the back of just talent and fighting, as opposed to the stuff outside of it. You look at the fight between Aspinall and Pavlovich, everyone was so excited about that. JIRI and Pereira, everyone excited about that. No trash talking in the lead up to those fights, and I'm good with it. Don't get me wrong, if the trash talk is natural and it happens, I'm good with it. I do like a bit of drama as well, but when it's forced, I'm not a fan.
I think it depends on the fighter, because we've seen when McGregor don't trash talk people, it's a boring outcome. But when McGregor's on full cocaine rage, trash talk, you want to watch the fight, don't you? No matter what. I'd like to see what the pay-per-view buy rates for this pay-per-view was, because there was no trash talking leading up to it. You know, I think the trash talking helps the casual fan to tune in, and then the hardcores will watch no matter what. But I'm like you. I think it depends on the fighter, though. These main events didn't need it because of the quality they have. Everyone was like,
we say that, but I mean, Sean O'Malley's super popular, but I still wouldn't call him a trash talker either. Like, he'll say a few things here and there, but I wouldn't call him a trash talker.
I don't think he sells pay-per-views though.
Because
no, O'Malley does.
That's why he's popular, because he's a pothead. Like, he's an open pothead.
He is. But I mean, let's be real. Nate and Nick, never trash talkers.
Yeah, but they're clever in the way they do it, though, ain't they?
They are, They're different in the way they do it.
They're exciting. They make you laugh. They make you like,
But on the flip side, Colby Covington's a trash talker, but I don't think he's got a great pay-per-view record.
Oh, Colby's boring. That's Colby's problem.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's got a great pay-per-view record. I'd actually reckon that quite a lot of other fighters have
well, that's what I'm saying. You've got McGregor's trash talk, but what McGregor's exciting in the ring.
Yeah.
Kobe does the trash talk, but does anyone buy it? That's the difference.
Yeah.
And then when he gets in the ring, it's like, this is boring, man. So that's why I think it all depends on the fighter. But like you said, this pay-per-view didn't need it. All I needed was that stare down.
Yeah. Oh, bro.
That's all I needed. That stare down was disgusting.
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. But
scary Brazilian.
The winner of the fight was the scary Brazilian, as you just coined him. I'm going to ask you both a question. Has Alex Pereira's legacy in the UFC surpassed that of Israel Adesanya's?
Oh my word!
Are we going to talk about Izzy's reaction as well? We can talk about
Yeah,
his
yeah,
reaction.
yeah.
You guys
Izzy's
see his
reaction
as well. Yeah, I've got something about that. 'Cause, has he
Ooh.
surpassed?
I don't know.
So, all right, I'll paint a picture. Israel
fought everyone.
Adesanya, the second most winningest middleweight champion, one of the winningest middleweights in UFC history, a two-time middleweight champion, has beaten every middleweight he's fought.
Yeah.
And then you got Pereira, who came over from Glory Kickboxing within 11 MMA fights, has won 2 world titles in 2 different divisions, one of which beating Izzy Adesanya and now beating JIRI PROCHAZKA and the former champion in Blachowicz and the current middleweight champion in Strickland.
He's on Glover's
got-
revenge
you might-
tour as well. Like he's basically doing Glover's bidding. Basically,
Yeah.
Like, hey, Alex,
Yeah.
that guy beat me.
Yeah, Jamal,
That
be
guy beat me in
careful.
Brazil. Yeah, so I now need you to go and beat him, and I'll beat him.
Yeah.
And then that guy's fighting again, so I need you to beat him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Alex could do it at a third weight yet as well. So
and now he's gone.
Alex could do it at a third weight as well yet. And so
Potentially,
I think he
if the
could
back
move up.
make him
It
work.
depends. Look, with Izzy, he cleaned out. Izzy cleaned out a division. To fair to Izzy, and he fought
And
everybody.
that's why Pereira
But that's why
Grappler.
Pereira got the shot as well.
And
a rocket.
and Pereira has not really fought a proper grappler yet.
But I would say that his grappling is
He's
slowly
far
getting
better than he
better.
used to be. He's far better than what he used to be. But now I'm thinking at 205, who just don't see him losing.
So that's the thing I was going to say. I can see that there's a world where, well, we've seen it. There's a world where Pereira could go to 85 and beat Izzy. Now, you all know how much of an Izzy fan I am, but I don't see a world where Izzy moves up to 205 and beats Pereira.
He don't beat this Pereira at 205.
No. It's a tricky one, really, because, like, remember a quote from Izzy back in 2020, where it's like, Alex Pereira is just going to be that guy that, like,
Yeah.
is in the bar. Funny how the tables have now turned, because everything that Izzy has done or has tried to do, Alex Pereira has gone, hold my beer.
But
What?
Izzy's effectively
Middleweight
helped
champion.
him. He motivated him to get out of the bar. He cleaned out a division, which allowed him to get an early title shot. And then he beat him, which made him want to go up to 205 and fight for another title.
Yeah, it's like I beat you at 85. Yes, you knocked me out. Okay, let me go up to 205. Let me beat a guy that you failed to beat at light heavy, and then I'll go and win the belt that you couldn't win. Now I'm a 2-weight world champion, and now I'm probably going to stay there, probably, defend my belt a couple of times. Then I may one-up you again, because you mentioned about going to heavyweight, and I maybe win another belt at heavyweight. Then sort of I can stick 2 fingers up at you and go, way, and then retire, mic drop. That's where he's looking like. He's looking like he's just one-upping him at every opportunity, and I absolutely love it.
So, God, Jay, you're going to say something, bro.
I was just reading something there that Conor McGregor ain't coming back now till the summer.
Oh, yeah.
I
was
saw
gonna
that
touch
Coach
on that,
Kavanagh
yeah.
said.
Kavanagh, yeah.
UFC has changed it. Who the hell is headlining UFC 300?
And we're not even going to get Brock and Jones now either, because Jones is injured.
Who's headlining UFC 300? Because I cannot think of anyone.
UFC 300 could be one of them cards that just don't work,
I think it could be Pereira who headlines 300.
What, Pereira versus Jamal Hill?
Yeah.
That ain't gonna sell shit.
Yeah, drop me out. See you later.
I think they'll stack the rest of the card, which will make up for it. Though.
No,
I think he's going to fight Jamal. By the sounds of it, he wants Izzy.
It's going to be Izzy. It's going to be Izzy at 300. I don't think Jamal's going to be back in time. Like,
you think Izzy's going to go up to 205 and fight this version of Pereira?
Yeah, but yeah, again, I see Izzy. I see his clip of him reacting, going ha 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 ha. Like, I'm rent free in his head still. I'm like, mate. Like, let's be honest. Like, you beat him once out of 3 attempts, my friend. Like, he's living in your head rent free. Like,
I think they're living in each other's heads. I think they're living.
I
It
think
should
they
actually be 2-2, but I think they're living in each other's heads. Which
Yeah.
I was going to ask you both again. Is this the greatest rivalry in UFC history?
It's the greatest
can
one
be
in
a fight in
combat
205.
sports. It's the greatest rivalry in combat sports. I wouldn't say it's the greatest rivalry in the UFC.
They'd have
But
to
I
fight
would-
again.
Yeah,
That's
but I
what
would
I
say that it's the greatest rivalry in combat sports. I think there's been better UFC rivalries than this.
I think
Is-
they need each other.
Yeah.
It's like Batman and the Joker. Like they
Yeah,
both
Batman
need
and the
each
Joker
other.
things. They need each other. I don't think Izzy is gassed to fight anyone else but him at the moment. I don't think anyone else gets Izzy out of bed.
I
Apart
think
from
Strickland
Pereira.
does. I think
Yeah,
Strickland.
because Strickland's easy money. So it's
I
an
just
easy
think it
win.
lives in his mind because, with all due respect to Strickland, there's no way Strickland should have beaten Izzy.
No. And I think Izzy weren't. I don't think Izzy would have been prepared like he was for Strickland if it was Pereira.
Mm.
Izzy had his eye off the ball,
Yeah.
thinking.
He's thinking
I think
Pereira
he
next.
underestimated him,
Yeah.
thinking that
Yeah.
it would be easy money. The deck was literally stacked against Strickland to win, and I
Yeah.
think Izzy thought that it was easy money, and Sean just. It's like class was now in session. Now I'll beat you with a 1-2 and a teep kick every time. Yeah.
So then I ask you guys, if Jamal Hill's not going to be ready, Izzy's not going to get the title shot straight away at 205 because he's not a champion himself, and his last fight was a bad loss. And Kalayev and Walker are running it back in January.
And so is Rakic and Blachowicz.
Rakic and Blachowicz are running their fight back after Rakic got injured.
Whichever one gets a good performance out
I'm
of
looking
those
at
two
I'm looking
fights.
at 205 rankings right now.
There's
I
no
don't see
clear,
anyone-
there's no standout apart from Jamal Hill, who was a champion before he got injured. There's actually no other standout.
I don't see anyone in there beating Alex Pereira right now.
And Kalayev is the only one I'd say because of his grappling.
I'd say Jan Blachowicz probably has a chance as well.
Jan's getting older now.
It's odd, right? Because you've got JIRI Prochazka in the mix. You're not going to give him a rematch. So
can't.
are you going to give the winner of Blachowicz Rakic against JIRI? JIRI Blachowicz is a fight we wanted to see a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
especially when JIRI came in the UFC.
There's a fight I want Izzy to fight. There's a fight I want Izzy to have in middleweight.
What
Oh.
Hamzat?
No, that's Leon Edwards going up the middleweight.
No,
I mentioned this a while back.
No, Leon is staying down at 70 and doing business at 170.
I think
No
Leon's
talk
got
about
more
double
work to do
champion.
at 70.
I'd love that fight, though.
So do I. I like Edwards' chances in that fight as well. I'm not saying he'd beat him, but I like his chances in that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
There
really
you
do.
go. That's how they should do it. John Jones, Aspinall, Edwards, Izzy, Wembley Stadium.
Woo!
Biggest UFC pay-per-view of all time.
Woo!
90,000 people, beats their attendance record. They make millions. I could promote that. I could
Did
do
you not get
Dana
Conor on
for
that
him.
card as well?
Yeah, then you get
Conor on that
Yeah.
card, Paddy on that card as well.
yeah, get Conor and Paddy on the card. Yeah, that's just,
Woo! Jamie Shelby strikes again.
if Conor ain't fighting until the summer, Conor Chandler.
International
go.
Fight Week.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what they're going to do International Fight Week. They're going to have Jones and McGregor on the same card.
Yeah.
And they're gonna really, really sell
No,
it.
I think
And
that'd
then
be
they're
too
gonna
early
have
for
to
Jones,
Have a
actually.
coin flip. Who's main eventing? Is it me
I
or
think
you?
it'd be too early for Jones because the only person I can think back, Cody Rhodes. How long was Cody Rhodes out with his torn pec? Because he came back at the Rumble
9 months.
9 months, and that's to go back and do pro wrestling, which again takes a toll on the body. Not like your MMA though. I don't see Jones coming back from this before 9 months. A year, I reckon it's a year. He's older as well. He's older than Cody.
They're the same age, mate.
Dude, Cody Rhodes and John Jones.
Yeah, Cody.
Yeah,
Rhodes is
Cody-
36.
Cody's 36.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought Cody was younger than that.
Cody's 36.
No.
John
I
Jones
don't
is
know.
38, isn't he? They're roughly around.
So is Pereira just on standby now until someone makes themselves available, or Jamal Hill becomes fit?
Anyone who's got the nerve to step up.
Yeah, like if you. What about Usman?
Usman?
At 205.
No way, man.
I'm just trying to think of people here.
Usman,
I think
that's too much.
Ankalaev is the fight, ain't it? I think it's Izzy. I don't. I think if Hill's back in time, they do him and Hill, and then Izzy if he retains. I think that's his next two fights.
I'm gonna have a look at.
Because Izzy trying to put a bit of bulk on because Izzy's too. He was too lean to fight.
Yeah, he's too light for
time.
that weight division.
He's too lean.
Then
He's a big
that
guy.
mean-
You see him stand next to people. He's a big guy, Izzy,
Yeah.
but he's lean. That's the problem.
Well, does that mean then if he bolts up, does that mean Izzy ain't going back to 85 then?
Yeah, if you bulk up in his age now, you'd want to stay where you are, wouldn't you?
Let's me have a look.
Oh, who does Izzy fight in middleweight?
It's Strickland, and then after that, Hamzat. It's the only other one.
Duplessis.
Duplessis. There's 3 fights left
Duplessis.
at middleweight for him.
I don't think he ever fights
I'm
Hamza.
just having a look at like the rankings, right? Jamal Hill's ranked number 1.
Yeah.
He's currently recovering. Yuri's just had the fight. Ankalaev and Johnny Walker are fighting.
January.
Blachowicz and Rakic are fighting. The only one that's in the top
It's the winner.
10 is like
It might
Nikita
be the winner.
Krylov hasn't got
Yeah,
a
it might
fight.
be.
You giving Anthony Smith a title shot?
No, absolutely not.
Anthony Smith, man, he can stay doing podcasting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely not. He can't be getting.
It's probably the Ankalaev fight. Whoever wins that probably gets
Why
a shot.
giving Ankalaev?
When is Blachowicz and Rakic fighting? Have they got a date?
January in Toronto, UFC
January.
297.
Oh, what 13th of Jan? What same card
Yeah.
as Ankalaev and Walker?
No, Ankalaev and Walker are headlining a fight night, January the 13th,
Yeah.
a week before UFC 297.
Yeah,
Oh,
whoever
so
wins that.
that's what. Yeah. So
Whoever wins that
whoever
fight.
has the
Whoever
yeah,
has a great performance
gets the
is
fight.
going to fight Pereira, and then the other one's going to fight Jiri.
Yes.
Yeah, and you think where we are, Pereira's probably on for April 300.
Well, January to April is a quick turnaround. You'd have to basically come out of the fight unscathed.
Yeah, because if you're having a look at like the headliners, like you've got Strickland versus Duplessis January, which Strickland ain't happy about, and then you've got Volk Topuria, you've got Sean O'Malley Cheeto, and then I would imagine you'll get some news about Islam versus Charles
In
'Cause
Saudi.
I have a Saudi, but I think Saudi's a fight night, not a numbered card. So I think you'll do Hamzat versus Costa in Saudi. And I think if everything goes, I honestly do believe that UFC 300 will be headlined by Alex Pereira. Because if you're having a look about who's like left available, McGregor ain't available, Jones ain't available. You need to be wary of. I think they're having another Mexican Independence Day card in the Sphere in LA. Is it LA? Where the big Sphere?
LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're having Independence Day card at that. So your options are limited. I know Dustin said he wants to fight at UFC 300. but-
Dustin will get a fight. It won't be a title fight. I think Islam fights at the Saudi show. And the reason I say that, Luke, because if he doesn't, he will then go into Ramadan, which is from like March till April. So Islam's out of 300. Like that's not going to happen. He's not going to fight during Ramadan. That means Charles is out of that fight as well. So I think they'll fight before Ramadan, and then whoever
So
wins
what,
that,
your
well,
biggest-
Islam won't fight again until like September, October.
It's odd, right? Because like your biggest like card of next year, and you're
Could be your poorest.
scrapping.
Could be your
Pardon?
poorest. UFC 300 could be their poorest card of the year.
Yeah, because if you're looking at like active champs, looking how injuries are going to play out, like it's very limited. You're looking at Alex Pereira headlining that card. That's the way you're looking at it. How everything is sort of.
That's if you're lucky.
And I
That's
think
if you're
Dane
lucky.
would
And plus,
probably.
Pereira didn't take much damage either.
Now I'm talking about the other fighters who got to fight to get a title shot.
Yeah.
The thing is, I assume Dane would probably want 3 title matches on that card. One of them being a woman's
Probably
fight.
going to have to go with yet again the women's one. Like
Wei Lee, I think Wei Lee and Tatiana Suarez.
yeah, that's a good shout. You're looking at obviously I've got the thing is,
Grasso
you're
and
gonna have to do
Valentina.
Grasso, Shevchenko 3.
Yeah, that would be the one, wouldn't it?
But
Could that main
they
event
want to see that for
300?
Mexican Independence Day.
When Mexican Independence not until
Like
September.
but you can't have them waiting a year to do
I
that.
don't think they'll both wait a year because Grasso could effectively do April and then September, unless she hopefully not, unless she sustains a really bad injury, which I
think she's
she
got
could
a
do
wrist. She and Valentina have both got like wrist injuries, so I think they've been out for a bit.
Could it be Valentina and Grasso that headlines
UFC 300? Oh,
I can't think of anything else, guys. Like, I'm in a pickle. Like, usually I'm all right picking fights. I mean, shout out to Josh in the comments saying Dustin versus Gaethje 3. I don't think Gaethje's going to take that fight.
No, Gaethje wants a title shot.
Yeah, he said he's going to wait out.
35, so he ain't winning the title. So
Yeah.
sorry, Gaethje. You're 35 now, brother.
He's waiting.
You're not winning it.
Like, Fiziev is out with a knee injury, so he's not going to be ready.
It's got to be Islam, Alex, or Volk headlining.
I don't know what they're going have in mind.
I think Aspinall's going to have to headline.
I think they were
Kavanaugh's sort of like bullshitting us, and that the UFC are going to go like, okay, McGregor, make sure you're ready for April because we haven't got anything.
I think they were putting everything in their basket that Chandler and McGregor had headline 300. I think that's what they're looking at.
Either McGregor's had a setback, or the UFC have had other plans. But I can't see what the other plans are because they're sort of stacking beginning of the year, leaving you no room for error. Like leaving you no wiggle room for UFC 300, which should be the card that you like. It should be the card that you should be having all the planning, making sure that your best fighters are fit and available for that card.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're putting more effort into International Fight Week than your biggest numbered card of the year.
I think Aspinall's going to have to headline it.
Against
They'll probably say
against who? Because you can't give it to Cyril Gane. Like, you cannot give it to Cyril Gane.
I think they will, though. Almeida didn't do enough in that Lewis fight to say he gets an automatic title shot. If he stopped Lewis or looked emphatic in that fight, then I think maybe you could have gone Almeida.
It is going to be Cyril Gane. He's number 2 ranked.
Yeah.
Aspinall's number 1 ranked interim, and then you've got John Jones as champion, apparently. So it is going. He just bought SERGEI. He ain't going to fight Stipe. Curtis Blaze ain't going to do it.
Currently fighting captain. Chael Sonnen posted a card lineup, but not sure if it's correct. It's on.
No, it wasn't. It was him speculating. Sorry, Jay. Why you got a ranking?
Yeah.
Where's Stipe ranked?
Stipe is ranked 4.
Is he still ranked? I'm sorry. That's crazy.
John Jones champion. Aspinall 1, Gane 2, SERGEI 3, Stipe 4, then Blaze, Alexander Volkaev, and then Almeida. Yeah. Derek Lewis in 10th.
Wow.
That's crazy. Still at number 4. That's so crazy to me. No,
that's why it's going to be Cyril Gane. That's the only person apart from John Jones that's from that fight.
His last fight was
3 years ago.
27th of March, 2021.
2020, yeah, it'd be 3 years by the time.
3 years since his last.
3.5 years. Hey, Elon versus Zuckerberg. That's not happening, mate. Zuckerberg's just tall as ACL, man. But,
do you think it could be Stipe? Could they convince Stipe to fight?
No.
They can't afford the medical bill.
Pay through the nose.
The medical bill after, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, I forgot. Leon Edwards.
Leon or Colby.
He's literally fighting next month. Like, he's literally fighting next month. He'll have plenty of time to
Leon or Colby could be.
Yeah, but Leon versus Bilal, I love Leon. I love Bilal, but
I think they're going to have to make fights that they move weights and stuff like that.
Yeah. If they're going to have to engineer another super fight, But the thing
Alright.
is, there's no super fight at the moment that you're going, I want to
Yeah.
see that.
Here's a
Well,
left field
Aspinall-
shout.
Aspinall John Jones is the super fight, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's-
it is.
that's
Yeah.
the one.
Here's a left field shout. Amanda Nunes comes back out of retirement. She headlined 200, maybe 300 against Pena.
For what though? Like there's no belt on the line. It's like it's
Dead
Pennington
put a
versus
belt.
Silver in
Dead put a belt
January.
on the line.
Oh, it'd be an
They put
instant
her on the line.
championship from nowhere.
Because then she'd be a three-time bantamweight champion if she wins, and if she loses, then Pena just carries on with the division. They'll put a belt
The
on
thing
her.
is, Pena's injured, and the bantamweight title is in January. And it's Raquel Pennington versus Silver.
This
Oh,
shows that
yeah,
UFC have
you're
got
right.
no stars.
Yeah, and plus Amanda, I don't think like she did that retirement so she can come back with more money. She literally said like her legs are in bits.
Yeah,
That's why she's retired. She's taking too many leg kicks. So like she ain't like I actually believe her retirement.
Go back to
Also,
UFC
Khabib.
100. Go back to
Khabib.
UFC 100. Go back to UFC 200. Go back to UFC debut at MSG, and go to UFC 300. The difference is the stars. UFC
Yeah.
ain't got stars like they used to. They haven't got.
Because I think the
superstars.
contract's different. Like because I
Yeah.
think they
Izzy,
get
Izzy.
paid.
They've
Like,
got Izzy, but Izzy's not
Izzy's a
fighting. Sorry, cut you.
superstar. John Jones is a superstar.
just get Brock versus Tom Aspinall. Effort.
Who?
Get Brock.
Ooh,
Brock versus Tom. For
ooh.
the interim belt. Screw it.
Where's the cream?
Luke.
I'm trying to think, get Brock on the card.
Just get Brock on
Brock.
the card. Just shift him out. Get Brock Aspinall. Oh,
Brock Aspinall.
I wouldn't want to be.
That's
I wouldn't be.
mega.
I wouldn't want to be the ref.
No, you'd have to have two. You'd have to have two.
Bring Pulse to the ring.
Yeah.
It'd have to be like if you want to have the tradition of getting Brock, but he's not been in the pool. But yeah,
They ain't got a pool no more. The pool's
There's
empty.
no pool,
They don't-
bro.
There's no
There's
water
no
in there no more.
pool.
Bring your roided ass over, man.
There's no
yeah,
pool.
but yeah, like Brock is never coming back. But
I don't think Bro would ever come. He's too old now. But that would be amazing. I think
I
they're going to have
mean-
to pull something out of the bag.
I'll be honest with you. I think they could entice Brock with that. Because if he beats Aspinall, he then becomes interim. We expect Jones and Stipe to fight, and Jones wins. Jones sticks around for Brock. Jones
Where's the
versus
thing?
Brock does probably the biggest pay-per-view outside of Conor Khabib.
Brock is scheduled to come back at the Royal Rumble. That's at January, yeah. He's still got still got a contract. It's a TKO contract now. It's the same,
exactly.
It's the same company.
He's not going to win Rumble,
Oh,
so he can
hold on,
skip
hold on,
Rumble.
Ronda.
But-
Let's be real. Brock
I think
Lesnar could
300 is the same month as Mania.
Yeah, but Brock could turn up a week before Mania and have a fight booked, and everyone's still going to watch it.
yeah,
You know how
beats
much
up with
Brock-
an F5, easy
No.
peasy. Done.
Wow. Well, people, let us know in the comments what you think about UFC 300. What's going to happen? Who should Pereira fight next? Who should JIRI fight next? Before we go, really quickly on this, Paul Craig is fighting this weekend. If Paul Craig gets a win, do you think he's a win away from potentially fighting for the middleweight title, or does he still have a lot of work to do?
Do you want answers, Jamie?
Where's he ranked? 13th, ain't he?
Yeah.
Who's he fighting?
He's fighting Brendan Allen, who's
Yeah.
he's underrated, man. He's underrated in that division.
Who's 10th? And
For
then
sure.
you got Strickland, the police, and then Izzy ain't going to be back. Whitaker, he's still suffering that loss. Yeah, maybe.
Cannonier's
Hello.
injured as well. Cannonier's injured. Costa's injured.
And you got Costa, who
Never know when he's going to fight again.
And
Yeah.
plus Costa Hamzat, I think I saw that they want to reschedule that, so you can count those two out.
Hamzat's injured though, right?
if Paul Craig wins, you give him Hamzat. If Paul Craig wins, then you give him
Jack
Hamzat.
Hermanson.
Paul Craig Hamzat.
No. Yeah. What feeding to Hamzat in Saudi?
All great.
Yeah.
That. I don't think he's ready. And if he gets past him, then you give him a title shot. You give the winner of that.
I'm probably thinking that he'll get someone like a Jack Hermanson if he beats Brendan Allen. But I just have a feeling he won't beat Brendan Allen. I think Brendan Allen's a really underrated fighter at middleweight. I think his only 2 losses at middleweight were to Chris Curtis on short notice and, ironically, to Sean Strickland. So he's 10-2 at middleweight, and his only losses are to the champ and to his mate. So he's super underrated. I actually think he may finish Paul Craig this weekend.
It's a very tough fight for Paul Craig.
It's a very tough fight.
Very, very tough fight.
Guys, did you before we finish? Did you see the rumours that Wilder and Joshua go both fight in a Saudi card, but not against each other?
Yeah, typical boxing.
So Wilder's going to fight Joshua Parker, and AJ's going to fight Ottoman, who fought
Otto Wallin?
Yeah, who fought Fury.
I've got a controversial one. I think Otto Wallin may beat Joshua.
Yeah, he might do. But guys, why are we surprised at this?
I don't know what's happening there, because I watched Talk Sport about it today, and they hate, for some reason, Cole Froch hates Anthony Joshua. I don't know why.
Yeah, they've had a little beef for a little while,
and it's always Anthony. Joshua apparently pulls out of fights. As far as I'm concerned, Anthony Joshua's fought everyone who steps up.
He's fought everyone. This is non-Joshua again,
and
this is Saudi.
Didn't Thingy say that he actually pulled out the Fury fight, the Joshua fight last time because they offered him 100 million for the fight, but he actually pulled out. Wilder said,
"Who's that?" Wilder said the money wasn't enough. Wilder's plan all along was to make the public feel that Joshua didn't want the fight. Then he'd take Tyson Fury and fight him because Tyson Fury is a bigger name than Wilder. He'd knock out Tyson Fury, and then he'd go back to the negotiation table with Joshua and his people and go, "I've just beaten Fury, who was the last world champion before you and I. I now want a bigger piece of the pie, and then we'll fight." And it blew up in his face.
And do you know Fury's only ever had 6 title fights as a heavyweight?
Hey, let's not talk about that fraud right there. Let's not talk about that fraud.
Yes. Fraud. Where's the fraud?
Let's not talk about that fraud. The family of frauds.
Boxing is a mess.
There's too much money.
John put the Marcus Rashford of boxing.
There's too much money in boxing. That's the problem now.
Yeah,
that's the best comment of the night. That Marcus Rashford of boxing.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. What can we do?
I do think they're not fighting each other, and because I think the Saudis are pretty pissed that Tyson's not fighting on that date, as agreed. Because I think it's been pushed back to. Ironically, apparently, Usyk and Fury are supposed to be fighting on the 17th of February. Guess what event's on that weekend? UFC 298.
Who's 298? Who's that? Is that Vulcan Islam? Sorry, Vulcan Topuria.
Yep.
They'll stagger it.
Yeah, because not gonna lie, I do not want that getting switched. Well, the rumored UFC 298 is on that weekend. If you are to believe the UFC schedule for next year,
I don't think UFC have to be afraid of that fight. To be fair,
because it ain't selling.
I don't think Fury's a pay-per-view draw like people think.
No, he's not. He's not.
Like people hate Anthony Joshua, but he's the biggest pay-per-view draw in heavyweight boxing.
And he has been for a while.
Yeah, it's just.
So I've just got the schedule.
Don't worry.
I don't know how true this is. This is on the UFC's website, so I'm not too sure. So obviously you've got UFC 297, 21st of Jan, but it also says like Volkan Topuria, 2nd of Jan, but I think that's a mistake. And the same with O'Malley Vera. So yeah, I have a feeling 298 is going to be on about the 17th, 18th of February. So yeah.
Boy, we'll see.
Tyson ain't a draw.
No, he's not. Boys, before we sign off, I've got to say a massive thank you, as always, for without you guys, this channel would not be doing what it's doing. So I'm highly appreciative of you both.
2K.
On the road, we are indeed. So, Luke, I'll start with you. Where can the people find you and support you?
Well, you can find me on my own channel, which I'll start doing more content on, Luke
Come
Tanner. I do have a video coming out tomorrow about just going through Leon Edwards' interview that he did with Sky Sports recently and why he should not be chasing double champ status yet.
Indeed, big up yourself, bro. Also, the link to Luke's channel is in the title of this video. And Jamie, where can the people find and support you, bro?
Yeah, you can find me at Jamie Felix Football Chats, guys. We just did a video just before we did this one. Well, so go and check that out, guys. Good show. Good.
Brilliant
video.
show. Shout out to Em and a shout out to Ben as well.
Yeah, great guests today.
And guess what, people? The link to Jamie's channel is also in the title. So it's that simple, guys. You just have to click one button and then click a button again to subscribe. So please do that. Not sure when I'm going to be back on the Sanderson Show, but I've got a few things in the pipeline. So do switch on the notification bell and stay tuned. But another UFC in the books. Great talking topics. We'll see where the dominoes fall and we'll see what happens in the next few months. But I'm quietly excited about what's happening in UFC, but also intrigued to see how they navigate 300. But people, smash the like button on the way out if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. Till we see you next time. Take care, people.